with Chris Forrester to preview Friday's Dublin Derby against Shamrock Rovers. The game is totally sold out, but if you're not going, you can watch live on LOI TV. Colin Hawkins will join 𝗲𝗏𝗏 in the commentary box. Chris, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, Jamie. Thank you very much.
Great run of form for the team, great run of form for yourself. 4 wins in a row for the team, second in the league, and 6 goals in 10 for you, so you must be in a quite good place at the moment.
Yeah, I feel okay. I feel like there's a lot more to come out of me, to be honest. I wasn't too happy with how the season started, but kind of gradually building a bit of momentum now with my performances and a couple of goals, which is always nice. You're
playing with a huge amount of confidence at the moment, and I'm sure the goals and the assists and the general team performances have probably helped that.
Yeah, I think everyone's been pulling their weight, to be honest. Obviously I scored a few goals, which is great with the confidence, but I feel like my general overall game has been okay as well, so yeah, I'm happy enough.
Yeah, I said 6 goals for you. The referee from Friday in Dalymount has credited you with the opener. Yourself and Owen Doyle were having a good debate over the weekend, and I think it's still going on, but you're definitely claiming your 6 straight from the corner.
Yeah, I'll claim it, why not? Doyle is claiming it as well, but whoever scored it didn't really matter, to be honest. For a bit of banter it's okay, but whoever really scored it doesn't really matter, as long as it goes in, and we won the game, which is the main thing.
Yeah, the team this season's been really strong on attacking set pieces. If you think back to the opening night, Joe's equaliser comes from a corner from Vlad. Your header recently against either Cork or UCD is another corner, and obviously a couple of the goals the other night. It's something you work on a lot, I know, in the Thursday sessions, and it's nice when it comes off, both for the set piece taker and sometimes the set piece man in the box.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I have a header from against UCD as well, which is pleasing. Like you said, we do a lot of work with Shani, Dinty, Tim. We all do a hell of a lot on the Thursday to, make sure that we're all in the right positions, and and you can see we're benefiting from it. So yeah, I think it's an important aspect of our game. I think we were getting called set piece athletic at one stage because we only scored from a few corners or whatever. But no, it's a massive part of the game. So yeah, we'll continue to work hard on them.
Yeah, second top scorers in the league overall, 15 goals in the last 5 games as well. Tim just spoke to the media before you and was talking about how pleased he is with the amount of chances and the amount of attacking play that we're involved in at the minute, and 15 and 5 isn't a bad total, so it's really clicked for the group in front of goal.
Yeah, everyone's chipping in, like I said. Everyone's pulling their weight. It's pleasing, you see the numbers we're getting into the box every chance we can get. We're flooding the box, the lads are covering the edges. I think it's an important part. Our fitness is right up there, so we have the energy to keep getting into the box and keep creating them chances. And like you said, if you keep getting in there, eventually they will start falling for you, and it's just the main thing. It's just about getting up there and getting in. I think everyone's kind of chipped in with a goal or two from crosses, and just making entries into the box, which has played an important part for us.
Mood and momentum are so important in football, and if we look at the 3 defeats in a row across that 6-7 day period, and then you get the point against Shamrock Rovers, and then the 4 wins in a row, and all of a sudden you're second in the league, and the mood has totally changed, and I'm sure the confidence levels in the group. It's mad how football can work in a kind of 4 or 5 game period if you lose a couple and then you win a couple.
Yeah, no, it is. It's crazy, and it's something that you have to really deal with as a footballer. I don't think people understand. One day on top of the world, next day you're in the depths of despair. But that's the beauty of football. Every week is different, and it's one of them where you just have to be right at every week, or else you will be turned over in the league. We have seen that. We had that blip for, I think it was a week, and all of a sudden the mood is down and everyone's all feeling sorry for themselves, but we picked ourselves back up, and we've been doing well the last few weeks.
Yeah, our 4 games since that game in Tallaght have all been victory. Shamrock Rovers have won 3 and drawn 1 of their 4. That game against Shells the other night as well. So both teams in a more up tempo, I suppose, level of form. How do you assess the game on Friday and what we face against them?
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be sleeping on Rovers because they didn't have the best start of the season, but I don't think they were playing necessarily bad. They just weren't getting the results, and a lot of people tend to forget that they've won the league the last couple of seasons, so there won't be any of that from us. We understand what kind of team they are, the calibre of player that they have, so we won't be underestimating them in any shape or form. So full focus for us is to tackle the game like any other game, and a big game like against Rovers, we'll be fully focused on it.
Yeah, there's a viewpoint out there in certain circles that there's too many Dublin teams and there's too many Dublin derbies, but looking at the atmosphere the other night in Dalymount, like I watched the game on the TV gantry, and it's one of the best atmospheres I've ever seen in the league. I don't know what it was like to play in this game at Richmond on Friday. Sold out a week out. There'll be 1,000 Rovers fans, over 4,000 Pats fans. What are they like to be in the middle of?
They're deadly, to be fair. You know, the tension, the bit sticky, everything about the game just be great. Both sets of fans to be, obviously, because they're very local. Place is always packed out, especially in Richmond. I like the Dublin Derbies in Richmond. Fans right on top of you, everything's perfect. So the game on Friday will be big. You'll have all the Rovers fans behind the goal. So it'll be very good. You've
been at the club for a long time and played in the league for a long time. I mean, it's fair to say the attendances across the whole league, but particularly at our place, have massively increased. All the away allocations sell out so quickly as well. What do you put that down to, as someone who's been around the club for so long, just the huge interest in the club and the team and you guys at the moment?
No, I think that a lot of the stuff in the background that's going on with the stuff, like you see, I credit a lot to Bernardo's videos, putting them up on social media, the stuff you were doing. A lot of stuff. I think there's a lot more presence about the areas, like around 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗃𝗧, you see a lot more stuff. I even see myself on a billboard today, which is something that I haven't seen before. So I think just the media aspect of it, everything, is all just playing its part, and then the football, I think, is improving as well, which is the main thing. So people want to come see good players, and good young players playing, and they're coming every week. They know they're going to be entertained at least. You see it around the place, and even the kids that you see around the place, you probably have seen them at the soccer camps that they'll be on during the midterms and stuff. Even from my own personal experience, like my daughter comes to the games, which is big for me, and there'll be a lot of kids in her school when I'm going to collect them. When I'm going to collect her from school, they'd be saying whatever about going to the games and stuff, which has a massive impact on everything, I suppose.
And that translates to you guys on the pitch as well. Like when you're coming out, even arriving to Richmond knowing it's sold out, there's a bit of an extra buzz maybe in your own life that Friday. When you're coming to know that there's going to be so many thousand people there to cheer you on and support you.
Yeah, and especially now with Pats fans, we have the numbers there, and the backing is pretty good. Yeah, you're coming into a game and you feel like it's an important game. You're seeing it sold out, and it just adds to the whole aspect of it. It makes you feel a bit more like a footballer. Like sometimes you be coming into games where there's only 1,000 fans and you're not really feeling the atmosphere. But every game we've had this year, the atmosphere's been top form. Sorry.
Chatting to Chris Forrester ahead of Friday's game against Shamrock Rovers. If Chris plays in the game, he'll be making his 300th appearance for St. Pat's over 2 spells. Talk me through that achievement if it happens on Friday. How will you be feeling, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, you said it to me the other day. I didn't realise it was that close. Honestly, I'm really delighted with it. It's such an honour to play for this club, and I'm not only just saying that. I really do feel honoured to put on the jersey every week and represent the club and the people that's behind the scenes at the club. 300 games is an awful lot. It makes me feel a bit old, but no, it's been a real honour to play for the club for so many games, and it's something that I want to continue to do for a long time.
I know you're focused on the now and you're focused on the Shamrock Rovers game, but when you do have time to reflect on some of the big moments, the league title in 2013, the 2 FAI Cups in 14 and 21, and all those appearances, the brilliant goals, the great memories, is there, what type of things come to mind across the 299 so far?
Mostly just the people in me, people I've met around the club, the people that I've played with. Good friendship with Ian Birmingham through just being at Pats, which is a great thing that has come from it. People that you meet around the club and just the personalities that you see every day, it's great. A lot of big days, like you said, 2013 won the league, a few cups, some big European nights. There's an awful lot that I could go through. Really need more time to think about them, but no, it's been a real pleasure to play for the club, and there's been a lot of good days.
Particularly the second spell when you came back at the start of the 2019 season. There's been 3 or 4 different managers. There's been a couple of difficult seasons. There's been a couple of really good seasons with regards to qualifying for Europe, playing in Europe, winning the cup and stuff. The increases in attendances. You were always coming back, weren't you? When you knew you were leaving the UK and Scotland, it was Pat you were coming back to.
Yeah, it was. Now, to be fair, and I spoke with Gareth as soon as I think Pats had got wind that I was coming back, and he reassured me of everything that I wanted to be reassured of. Was really there for me, and in a sense that, you know, was wanting me to come back, and, you know, I felt real love from his side and the club side. So, like you said, I was always going to be coming back to Pats. There was no real question. Never tried to play hardball or anything. I was straight coming back to Pats. And like you said, I've been here for 2 stints now, and it's been good. So I knew what I was coming back to in terms of the club. So it was a no-brainer. Yeah,
I know you were just speaking to the media lads there in the press conference, and you spoke about Pats being home, and you know what the club means to you, not just from a sporting sense, but just for kind of your life and your happiness and your family. Now, you might just expand on that for those maybe that won't read the newspapers this weekend, just about what it means to you, and particularly those conversations you had when you were coming back, and the few years you've had since. Yeah, it was just the reassurance of, you know, when you go through a hard spell in football, no one really understands it. They think, yeah, you're a footballer, you should be just happy, but when things aren't going great, you need people around you that kind of give you that reassurance. And like I said, the people at this club really reassured me of what they thought of me and how much they kind of probably, I don't want to say love, but how much they loved me. And it made me feel good. It made me feel like I was coming home to be wanted and, you know, stuff like that. So it took a while for me to get going, I understand that, but through their feelings for me, it kind of pushed me on to be the player that I am now. Yeah. That feeling of being loved can't be underestimated, particularly as a footballer, when you know whether it's the owner of the club, whether it's the coaching staff, the teammates, the volunteers, the fans, that they're there for you, they have your back through thick and thin, like, and it's a special club in that way. Yeah, and like I said, I wasn't playing the best when I came home. A lot of bad games, but the fans, like I said, they stuck with me, and I never felt unsupported or ever like I wasn't wanted at this club. And like you said, that's a major part for any footballer. They just want to feel loved and, you know, appreciated and supported unconditionally, I suppose you could say, no matter what circumstances, as long as you give your best. That's all you can ask for, I suppose, as a fan. And your role in the team over the years as well has changed a little bit. When you were here in the first spell, you were a young player, you were a top player, but you were a young player, you moved away. You obviously had your time in England and Scotland, came back then, and now with the age profile of the squad, like just chatting to Tim there, the average age of the squad this year is just over 23. Yeah. Like there's lots of younger ones, there is a few older ones. Like you're still a very important player, but a very important person as you've grown into your early 30s now. Well, 30, not early 30s just yet. Yeah, it is. It's different. When I was here as a kid, I didn't really care much for what was going on outside of football or anything like that. You know, obviously now I have a family of my own. So you have all these responsibilities and you have to kind of juggle your whole life around football and stuff. So whereas when I was a kid, I didn't have any of that. I was just going out and playing. So yeah, it's been different, and I think I have a good role in the club now. As you said, an older player. I feel like I can give a bit of advice, and I feel like my opinion is valued, which again is a major part for me. Yeah, it's different, but it's an enjoyable role that I have now. Yeah. Yeah, and when you have so many like younger ones, we did a piece with 𝗬𝗓 𝗍𝗫 this week on his role in the academy. Like there's 7 current players in the squad who've come through the Pats Academy. You know, the youngest being 𝗬𝗓 𝗍𝗫, who was on the bench for the first time the other day at 15. Then you've got the likes of 𝗫𝗫𝗄, who's just turned 20, and Adam and Sam and Tommy and that in the middle type thing. And then you've got yourself, Doyler, Jake, Brezzo. You know, some of the older ones, even Joe, the captain's only 23. It's a real mix, isn't it? Yeah, it is a real mix, and I think it's a good dynamic, especially with the older lads that we do have. And I won't be too happy with you calling him an older lad, I don't think. Mid-20s now, and Lenny. Well, Lenny's only 24, I think. Only young plus. But now Doyler especially as well, you can see Doyler's presence around this dressing room is massive, and you know, what you're saying to me about being that guy that's an older kind of person that can give advice, I look to Doyler for that even, so I think people like him, having him around the dressing room is a great thing to have. And lastly, Chris, I just want to finish asking you about the supporters and the fans, because I think it's fair to say they love you and you love them, and anything we put up about Chris Forrester online absolutely flies. Now, whether it's a brilliant goal or an interview or a picture or whatever, and you know, they love watching your reel on YouTube. But same when you're at the camps, the kids want to take autographs with you, take selfies with you and stuff. The older supporters love you if you get to chat to them around town or around 𝗬𝗓𝗏 or whatever, and that relationship is special as well. They feel like they proper know you, and I think it's fair to say you feel the same about them. Yeah, like I said, you get to know people out throughout the years at the club. Like there'll be lads there that I've seen were same age as me, and they've grown up supporting Pats throughout the years, and you know, I've been here
I know I went away for a while, but I've been here and they've watched me grow as a player and as a person. The relationship that I have with the club is really special. I think 300 games is an awful lot, so they've seen enough of me to still want me here and still have good feelings about me, so I'm pretty happy with that.